Hey everybody, welcome back. Hollywood Pizza here. We've got some fantastic tournament coverage for you today. We've got the top 8 of the PizzaBox Open Standard from October 16th. We've got HamHocks42 and Hearsayttv with the commentary. You can find deck lists down below in the description, as well as all the content for the commentators and myself down below. And I hope that you enjoy the video.
Don't necessarily have like mechanical identities tied to their original printings.
Yeah.
Like Vorinclex's counters, the original Vorinclex manipulated lands, and Old Sheldred was was kind of board control. It was an anthem for your team. It was a down buff for your opponents. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go with Elishorn. But with that, we have top 8, everybody. We have top 8 gameplay here at the PizzaBox Open. This is standard, and we are watching Mono White. Actually, let me double check. I want to make sure. So this is Mono White versus Rakdos Midrange. Let's go.
And it's our good friend Gaiden.
Excellent. You'll love to see it. And we got 2 Elspeth's Resplendence, Faithful Absence, Destroy Evil. You'll love to see it. Just sitting on removal, and a March of Otherworldly Light joining the fray for good measure. Fantastic. Also, by the way, in this top 8, keep an eye on the chat. We will be doing giveaways. So we will actually be doing some giveaways, and make sure I get all the details correctly. We'll be doing 2 giveaways within the top 8 for a 10% off coupon to MagicJank.com. That's right, our new sponsor, MagicJank.com, the new MTG marketplace where you can buy and sell Magic the Gathering singles, packs, accessories, even MTGA codes, apparel, you name it. Check it out. Like it's a really cool website. I know I'm honored to be kind of part of the team over at MagicJank, and yeah, definitely jazzed to have him as a sponsor here at the Pizza Box. All right. So here we go. So Graveyard Glutton is already flipped. That's not where you want to be, but at the same time, Gideon has removal in hand and cards to chuck to the ward. So worst comes to worst, you can do a Destroy Evil, but it looks like they're going to go over for a chump block here. Hanging on to the removal. Fair enough. All right, and here comes Sheoldred. Now the Destroy Evils, I have a feeling, is definitely going to chew up Sheoldred. Yeah, but here it comes. And there's still 2 mana.
Not that one. Not that one. God, I see. I like Faithful is great, but I like using it later.
Yeah.
For the sole factor of it gives them a card. It gives them a card.
Yeah, that's a very real downside. Like that clue token is no joke.
Like, you might not be thinking that's like, oh, it's whatever, blah 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 blah, but it's like, no, it's actually it can be a pretty big deal. It can that one card can, oh my goodness.
Ouch. Yep. Invoke Despair with the the Planeswalker and the 1 creature down.
Now having Farewell here, being able to get rid of everything is going to be really nice here.
True. Yeah, at this point, I think you kind of have to, right?
You kind of have to Farewell because you have to get rid of the Glutton, and you need to get rid of that card. They're already, and man, I hope they don't have another Despair in hand, because that would be brutal.
Indeed. And they're just going to rip it all, hit the lot, get everything out of the graveyard, so future graveyard Gluttons don't have anything to chow down. Oh, no!
And there's the Despair. And so, dude, see, this is the card that I think should have been looked at.
Invoke Despair.
Meat Hook was Invoke Despair.
I would be shocked if they didn't consider it. Because that card is insane.
It's insane. Like, it's the fact of it getting rid of a creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker. And if you don't have any of those, you're losing 2 life per, and I get a card like that.
It's a guaranteed 3-for-1.
Bonkers. Yeah.
It's a guaranteed 3-for-1 for 5 mana. Like, that's insane. Like there was a time. I'm a bit of a Magic boomer, so I'm gonna go ahead and,
boom out.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna own it. There was a time when if you could get a 2-for-1 with a card, it was pretty good. We're at a point right now where the cards that you see be successful are almost guaranteed 2-for-1s where you can easily get 3 or even 4-for-1 in certain circumstances. And there are other ones like Invoke Despair that's just a guaranteed 3-for-1.
Mhm.
Like, you can't help but hit a 3-for-1 with that thing.
Yeah,
It is
and it's just
bonkers.
it does so much, and the fact that it gives you cards too if they don't have anything on board, because Invoke can be used just on a plain board. If you have nothing else in hand and you're like, oh, they don't have anything in hand either, well, I'm gonna make you lose 6 life. I'm gonna draw 3 cards.
Yeah, dude, I remember a time when I thought Lava Axe was playable. Okay, that was never truly playable. Lava Axe, if you're not familiar, it was a red sorcery for 4 and a red. It deals 5 damage to target player. I think it's been errata swinging in Planeswalkers now too, but it's just 5 damage to your face for 5 mana. That's it. That's all it did. Invoke Despair is so much better than that because it's 6 damage and you draw 3 cards. Like, yeah, like you're saying, on an empty board. And if they do have stuff, you're breaking it up and busting their board up pretty hard. It's just, I mean, card's nutty, man.
It's nutty. It's nutty.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bonkers. It's wicked good. Wicked good over here. There's Sheldred, or as I like to call her, Shelly, in the mix.
Shelly. But yeah, that's what that's a card that I think that should be in the talks of, because I really don't think in the mono blacklist that the meat hook was what was so oppressive. It was the Invoke. Right. And like the Invoke, the meat hook, the Lily, and the Tenacious Dog. Like T-Dog can be brutal if you have no way of exiling it, or else you're just going to be if you have no way to block it or kill it, you're just going to take 3 every time.
Yeah, it's pretty savage. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Gadian has a pretty sweet setup here. Wandering Emperor can deal with Shelly, prevents 4 damage, and not to mention the additional 2 loss of life next turn, unless
so you lose 1 life.
Oh yeah, because there's the 2 gained. Yep. So net loss of 1. And another Invoke. My goodness. Yeah, well, okay. I was about to say they were in a great position because they had the Planeswalker, they had the.
You gotta kill the enchantment here. Yeah, you gotta kill the enchantment. I know that you have Farewell, but you cannot have that Kiki go on the next on the like have it being able to untap next turn.
No, the moment, yeah, there are a couple moments with Fable that make it just so threatening, and that one right there, where that Summoning Sickness aura disappears, like that little gray haze is no longer on the card. That's time to be scared. And yet another Invoke. My goodness, I gotta be honest, if I was Gadian, I'd be pretty upset right now because that is unreal.
Just a reminder for all you guys in chat. Remember, we are doing a giveaway. Or a 10% off coupon for magicjank.com. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. What do you have to lose?
Evil, you can blast the enchantment.
You kind of have a blocker here.
Yeah. Farmhand gets you something. You have the March of Otherworldly Light in hand still. So you can, dump a Farewell if you have to kill something. But there's going to be another Invoke. No, okay, Soul Transfer this time. Sorry, I'm getting a little cynical because,
Yeah. Well, there's going to be an Invoke. There's going to be another
Invoke. What? They're going to... Oh, because
they get it.
I didn't realize they only had 1 counter left. But Infernal Grasp, but now the treasure token to create to cast the March. Holy cow, that was a roller coaster of emotion in just a couple seconds. My goodness. Because at the end of the day, you still sit at 3 life.
It's a pretty good comeback. Pretty stabilization here. And you have Sunset, so you can gain 4 life.
Yeah, you got Sunset. You've got Warden. And yeah, do you jam... I think you jam Warden here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about it. Now you draw, you create a token. Hang out, just chill for a minute. And we've seen Sanctuary Warden. There are a couple cards right now. There are a couple like 6 and 7 drops that are capable of just dominating a game. And Sanctuary Warden is absolutely
brutal. You got to go to 1. Oh no, you don't.
Shielded followed by Obnixilis.
Oh wait, no, you don't. You can get rid of a card. You can get rid of a card.
Yeah, you can discard here, and you have to. You don't have a choice, and that is no fun whatsoever.
No, you got to do the bank buster. Got to do the bank buster. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not fun. Not where you want to be, but what you gonna do?
Okay, so now you got to kill Obnixilis because you're going to one here. You got to kill Obby.
Yeah, you attack into Bobby Nix there, and then you just got to rip the board, right?
Yeah, you have to. Oh man,
But yeah, you attack with the Sanctuary Ward and you pop the shield. Well, yeah, you pop the shield counter because it's gonna get exiled with the Farewell anyway. So yeah, you swing in, you draw a card off the Sanctuary Warden.
Yeah.
Ob's dead. And then yeah, I would rip Farewell and just say absolutely everything. Just get it all gone.
Yeah. Because you need that bank buster to be gone, especially like where they're top decking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got exactly. So yeah, Gadian had a bank buster online. However, Faust's bank buster still had 3 counters on it. So
no way!
Oh, dude.
And this is what I'm saying. Like
Invoke Despair off the top. Like even the Jun deck, which I know we saw some. Actually, there is one. I don't know that they've reported in, but there is one Jun mid range that has made it into the top 8. Like that deck's this very much the same way. Like if you just get the edge, if you can establish the card advantage, you just run away with it. And which is kind of, to some degree, that's how Magic plays, but it definitely feels you see it more on display in the mid range meta like we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like when aggro is really, really strong, card advantage is irrelevant. Because like you can have 7-8 cards in your hand. If you're at 5 life and I untap with my little army of goblins, I don't care. You have as many cards as you want. You're just dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those things where in mid range metas, the card draw just really matters. Same true when control is on top as well.
How do you feel about the mono blue tempo list that's running around here now with the Haughty Djinn?
Dude, Haughty Djinn is a freaking house.
Right?
Like that card is so good. It does so much is the thing.
It's like sneaky good.
Right? Yeah.
Because you look at it and you're like, like it's just a whatever 4 until it has spells in the yard, and it's like it's flying, it makes it a little bit cheaper, blah 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 blah. But then you're like, oh, actually, this card's going to freaking kill me.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, my opponent has a Haughty Djinn down. Well, that's the other thing. Like, very rarely do you see that deck just like windmill slam it on turn, like tap out on turn 3 to just play it. Because at that point, you don't have that much in the yard anyway, so why would you do that? Meanwhile, if you wait until turn 5 with Impulse and Make Disappear and Negate in your hand, that thing's not going anywhere. The moment it sticks, your opponent can use whatever removal they have, and you're just going to be able to protect it. And it only gets bigger as you do that. Like, it's incredible. Yeah. No, Haughty Djinn's fantastic.
Haughty Djinn is really good. And I think I was like, is it a good finisher? Or is it just like a Delver meme? Like, you never really know, but it's a great card.
I mean, you can call it a Delver meme, and yeah, we're in a situation where Delver of Secrets is legal in Standard and nobody plays it, or very few people play it, I should say. But at the same time, is it Delver right now is like one of, if not the #1 deck in Legacy.
Yeah.
If the card can prop up a whole archetype in a format where the entire history of Magic the Gathering is on display, card's pretty good. Like
card's pretty good.
It's okay.
Delver is like Delver in Standard and Historic and Explorer. It doesn't have the tools for it to be consistently good. Oh, look, they're running Haughty Djinn. They're running Djinn. I've seen that.
And they just discarded one, which tells me they have at least one other one in their hand, if not 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Haughty Djinn had Flash. Oh
my god. Oh, dude. That's the only thing that's missing. Like to just make it just the best.
To make it premium, it just needs Flash.
Yep. Dude, make that thing cost 4, but give it Flash. I'm so in. Like that's yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like these tempo decks, if you can get a flash threat that can end the game. I mean, like Fairy Vandal is one that actually is pretty fantastic. I haven't had a chance to really look over this mono blue deck. This particular list isn't running it. Wow, actually, this list that we're watching here, Ting Tong's list, does have 4 Delver of Secrets in it.
And I do love
I like
Impulse.
that.
Impulse is such. I was so excited when I seen that the reprint was here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I love Impulse. It's such a good card.
And the new artwork is beautiful. So like, love it. Why not? But here we go. We got 5 mana. I was just espousing the joys of Haughty Djinn on 5. Ooh, but now they're going to throw the Delver, who does conveniently die to cut down, as well as Soul Transfer.
Does it, though?
I mean, not often, no. You think it does.
Die to cut down?
You think it does. Not when there's 4 mana open. It doesn't. So here the hope is, Snowman's hope is that Ting Tong spends 2 mana on a counter spell, goes down to 3 cards. They untap. They Soul Transfer this.
Cut down does indeed kill a Delver.
Wow. Who knew?
And I love Siphon Insight too. That's a great card as well.
Dude, Siphon Insight's so good.
It's only a good card if your opponent's deck is also good.
True. Very true. Because there are a lot of things. Well, and the mono blue tempo lists, just throughout history, like, well, frankly, they're just cool. Like, I just like mono blue lists. Like, mono blue tempo lists I find fascinating. Mostly because I'm not very good at them. So I love when I watch somebody who knows what they're doing with one really execute. Because they are fun to watch. They're not fun to play against. Let me be very clear about that. Because when you're playing against them, you're just getting beat up the whole time. Like, you just are. You're getting beat up and none of your stuff is resolving. So it can be pretty brutal.
There's a Haughty Djinn, baby.
Yeah. Well, and now, so Ting Tong let the cut down, take out the Delver. And as a result, those 3 cards that are chilling in their hand are probably those really nice counter protection spells.
And the fact that this Consider is going to be used and then go to their yard, it becomes a 6/4.
Yep, because that was Ting Tong's Consider. Like, yep. Now, Corpse Appraiser can help mitigate some of that, but if it doesn't exile a creature, then they don't get a card draw. Actually, can Corpse Appraiser, can you target a non-creature?
I can't remember, but I don't see the Soul Transfer landing, so I think they're going to try to hit the Fable.
No,
you need to get the removal out somewhere, right? Or the counter out somewheres.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to go for it, because, if you don't, you have 2 Soul Transfers, right? So the hope is they only have 1 counterspell of those 3 cards. So you're hoping that maybe there's one other Haughty Djinn, and maybe a bounce or something, but like... Yeah, okay, Fading Hope. So that saves the Haughty Djinn, gives them a scry. But the Haughty Djinn's not going to slam you in the face next turn. So
yeah, it saves you 6 life.
Yeah, saves you 6 life, or 7 once the Fading Hope is the bin. And you get a free shot with your Harvester. So all right, you get in for 3. It's a tempo advantage. That also tells me that Ting Tong probably doesn't have, well, I don't know. We'll see. But, in this situation, the cards that I would be especially worried about are your Negates, your March of Swirling Mist. They also have 3 Slip Out the Back. Those would be excellent in situations like this.
Slip Out the Back is the best answer, kind of, because it becomes an 8/4 with the counter. So even if they find another Blood Harvester, they cannot activate it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting that 5th point of toughness would be a big deal. Here comes another Soul Transfer. Okay, what do you got? Do you have another way to protect this thing? Syncopate.
Yeah,
all right. Syncopate for
3.
That'll do it. Yeah, and Snowman is just 1 land shy of being able to pull off a double spell. So that can't feel good.
Oh man, and I'm looking at this, like Haughty Djinn is a 2-turn clock.
Yep. That's nuts, man.
Here, take 8 to the dome.
Right? It's so amazing how well Haughty Djinn turns the corner. And here comes a Delver. So here's another threat. If you do deal with the Djinn, you're probably going to have a 3/2 flyer that you need to dance with now, too.
Can you find removal for the Jin? Oh, so you need a Corpse of Praise to try to find removal?
I'd imagine, yeah.
Watch that
Yeah,
auto
unfortunately,
tapper.
we can't look at graveyards. I feel like there's at least I believe one other Jin and one other Delver. So yeah.
Oh, well, they found the Jin and they found the Delver.
Perfect. Get one of those gone forever, and well, I mean, another Corpse Appraiser, I guess, but neither of those.
You already have one. Honestly, I think you need the land there.
Yeah.
Cycle into another draw.
Yeah,
you don't survive this. You don't survive this next turn, so
no. And
you,
like
you need
to
find removal.
Yeah, if the Delver flips, it's over.
Well, you don't even need
a Harvester could deal with it. I suppose, now it can't.
Yeah, you need the and that's why I said watch the lands, because you're gonna lose life off tapping the lands. And Delver flips.
Yep, Delver flips. The Jin is here. So Ting Tong takes game 2, and with that, we are gonna have a game 3.
Woof! Deciding game 3.
My goodness, Mono Blue Tempo, man. Well, and it's funny too. There are other versions of Tempo that we've seen throughout, throughout Magic. And it's not uncommon for the main threat to be your like Ascended Spirits or your Delver, which of course you hit on 1, where the goal is to just play something out on 1 and just protect it while it just slowly chisels away your opponent. I kind of love how Haughty Jin kind of flips the script a little bit, because with it being a 3-drop, usually that's a little heavier for a lot of tempo decks. The thing is, you just get so much value for 3, it is totally worth it. And so you find yourself in situations like that where you go from being pretty stable and feeling pretty good to all of a sudden being on a 2-turn clock out of nowhere. And because of cards like Slip Out the Back, Negate, Syncopate, like we saw in that game, it just doesn't matter. Like, you can't get rid of it. Like, yeah. It's nasty stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to sideboard in here. Yeah, I mean, Disdainful, that D-Stroke does nothing.
D-Stroke does nothing.
Chilling in the sideboard all day. Negate's probably not where you want to be either, unfortunately.
No, I think it's honestly it's gonna have to be burned down the house, right? Because that's what is gonna effectively kill the Jin if it's not protected.
Right. I mean, the idea of Invoke Despair is kind of a paradox in this situation, because there's a very good chance your opponent's only going to have 1 creature. So Invoke Despair should be really great. However, they're running the Make
Counter.
They're running the Negates, Syncopates. Like, if your opponent plays Syncopate for 1 after you tap out for an Invoke Despair, that feels really bad. Yeah.
Well, and even just like a Spell Pierce, like you go to Invoke Spell Pierce or Make Disappear, Disdainful Stroke. There's so many counters that blue has available to them.
Yeah.
Or even just a protection spell like Slipping Out the Back or Syncopate and some of that. Like it's endless.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about this blue list, just survives. It's like, let me land this 1 threat and good luck.
Yeah. And yeah, like Invoke Despair trying to resolve a 5-mana sorcery against a mono blue deck. Just no, that's just not gonna happen. Like, there's no way around it. Yeah. And that's the thing, when you're playing the game against a mono blue feels different than playing against other decks. Because it does come down to a question of just, can this resolve?
Oh, you gotta love to see a blue deck mulligan. You gotta love to see that, right?
True. It's funny, man. When I'm on the ladder and when I'm going up against a player, especially for the very first time, and I see them like mulligan to 5, I never know, should I be excited that they're down 2 cards, or should I be worried that I'm going up against someone who's smart enough to let an unplayable 7 and 6 go? That's something that I always wonder. It's like, is that a good sign or a bad sign? Granted, if I'm playing Explorer and I have a Thoughtseize in hand, that's just a good sign, because somebody mulls to 5 and then get Thoughtseize. I mean, that's that. Anyway, that's a story for another day. We're not playing Explorer today. We're playing Standard.
Is it Standard?
It is. It
just doesn't feel standard without Meat Hook.
Don't worry, we still got Sheldred, we still got Fable. Like, Infernal Grasp is still here. It's still doing the thing. And that's the thing too. Right now, people talk about power creep just in general. It's just one of those buzzwords that gets bandied about. No, I throw it around too, of course. But man, Consider is so strong in that deck. Just throwing that out there real quick. Being able to fill the graveyard with Haughty Djinn while sculpting your hand. Yeah, seems good. But Power Creep is one of those things, and those cards that are in Snowman's hand right now just exemplify it so well. You know, Sheldred, you have a 4/5 for 4 with Death Touch that can kill your opponent just by existing. Amazing.
Just by being on the board.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Like, actually, it could be thinking of Sheldred, I don't know any other threat that wants your opponent to dig for an answer the way Sheldred does. It's like, please draw more cards. Please. I insist.
Yeah, you know what? Draw all the cards. I know that in Commander, people are running the Sheldred and the Abyss combo, where you just like you get to draw half your deck. My Sheldred's on board.
Yeah, how many cards do you have left in that deck? Like 85? Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Take 160 damage. You're dead.
That's that. Yeah, it's pretty nasty for sure. Yeah, no, that's a combo I've seen some people pull off in like Explorer and Historic. I've seen people mess with that, and it is neat to see. I'll be honest. But yeah, pretty darn savage. But in any event, so you have that. You have Fable the Mirror Breaker, which is like 9 mana worth of value over the course of 3 turns. Like, let's be honest, that card is just nuts.
Yeah,
like, any one of those chapters almost worth 3. And the last one you could argue is worth like 5.
The fact that you get a body that makes treasures, and then you get the rummage, and then you get a creature that's on board that can potentially copy more creatures and make more value for you. Insane.
It's just nuts, man. Again, it's just nuts. So, and that's, you know, but the thing
is the advantage of the blue deck here, okay? Mid-range right now, Grixis is doing absolutely nothing. They're just kind of sauntering along and hoping that they get their threats down. Yeah, and blue's you take your time. I need time.
Yeah, and this is why, because if that that negate Fable the Mirror Breaker, like I was saying, that thing is worth a ton. You can just 2-mana counter, get it out of here, and now Ting Tong has the ability to cast Impulse to go dig for another counter, just reload, be locked and loaded for the next turn, drop a land and pass again. I mean, there are few things quite as unnerving as a mono blue player just playing out an island and saying go.
Pass. Yeah, like, pass. It's like asking your parents for permission.
Right?
You know, like does this resolve?
Yeah. It's pretty nasty.
Oh, Haughty Djinn early? What's going on here?
Haughty Djinn online. There's 1 mana up. Now, if there's a negate, because the Haughty Djinn does reduce the cost, you know, a 2-mana counter could deal with this Infernal Grasp here, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. Yeah, here's the negate.
Yeah, there's the counter, but you know, there's removal.
But now, Ting Tong's tapped out. When you see all those islands tap, that is your time to shine. So now you can soul transfer. You can soul transfer here. You could burn down. I would probably soul transfer and then Blood Tithe Harvester.
Yeah, I would do the same. But I think that they want to do Sheldred. No, you got to soul transfer and Blood Tithe here. You have to.
You're not gonna get a cleaner shot on this Djinn than this. You're just not. If Ting Tong untaps, that Djinn is just going to be here to stay.
But yeah, it's just like, it's never going to leave.
Yeah. Well, and now also you were able to get a threat on board that can crew your Bankbuster right away. So you can even get in for 4 damage. All of a sudden, Snowman not only dealt with the threat on Ting Tong's side, but also was able to turn it into some aggression and establish the beatdown roll and actually start dealing some damage. Here comes another Haughty Djinn. Now, the big factor that I see here is that Ting Tong only has 4 lands down. They have missed a number of land drops here, and Snowman has not.
They've missed at least 3.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
In a like a tempo kind of control list, oh yeah.
You need as much spare mana up as possible, and not having that really hurts.
All right, so what do you do here? Do you just say fuck it and say burn down the house?
It's definitely an option,
right? You just gotta, because I just feel like Haughty Djinn just can't survive.
So, crewing the Bankbuster here, going for the attack. It looks like what Snowman's gonna
So
do
they're not
here,
burning.
put some pressure on, offer the trade. I doubt Tingtong's gonna accept it. Yep, and then stick Shieldred. Because I think the idea there was if Tingtong had a bounce, they would, try to at least tempt them to use it on the Bankbuster. And now Shieldred's here, which can gain you life, and it also establishes a threat that, so this is a race that Snowman is well positioned to win. And oddly enough, here's a moment where the phasing of Zalfir actually wouldn't be too bad, which is
I don't know.
it's a word I never thought I would.
Still might have it here.
Yeah, a lot could happen. So let's see. Now, Fable of the Mirror Breaker has an opportunity to actually be pretty sweet because of that chapter 2 with Shieldred down. That's just
this is getting countered though.
Totally, yeah. But even so, when you have 8 damage on board, plus the 2 that you're likely to get off Shieldred on Tingtong's draw step, that's fine. You don't mind your opponent spending.
Man. Can you imagine if he had casted 2 spells on a turn, that counter spell would have been free.
True. I think it still would have cost 1 blue.
Would it cost 1 blue? 1 blue.
Yes. Yeah, because the Haughty only reduces the generic casting cost.
But here comes Spell Pierce. We knew this was coming.
Totally. Yeah. But at the same time, unless Tingtong has a bounce that can mitigate some of this damage, or some way to gain life, although I can't imagine what that would be in that deck. Yeah, I don't see anything that could do that.
Well, there's a bunch of stops.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like a slip out, even the slip out the back on Shieldred.
Yeah,
Margin's Swirling Mist, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Phase both of those out, which not only does that mean that they can't attack you this turn, but also Shieldred is off the field, so you're not losing life.
And now you have a blocker, and now you say GG's. That's game over. Tingtong just took the win there, unless there's a removal spell right here. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! What a rip!
Now the question comes in: does Tingtong have a counter for it? So that Voltage Surge can take out the Haughty Djinn here, or can try to take out the Delver and go for the win. Both fine options.
Oh man, what do you do here? No,
actually,
I think you gotta save yourself. Try to save yourself. Like say, do I kill the Djinn?
I think that's correct. Should you attack first?
Going for the win. Gonna try to go for the win here. See what they have in their hand.
And more, kind of force the issue with the Delver. You're like, Delver's here to block. Make it block. They're considering it. Oh, yeah. No, Haughty Djinn. If that Djinn gets any opportunity to connect, it's over. So you've got to take it out. But the Delver blocks. And at this point, Snowman has a ton of mana up. So if this is like a make disappear, that is not going to cut it. Syncopate isn't going to cut it either.
It has to be a negate.
Mm-hmm. A negate or another Urtai Scorn. It's got to be a hard counter.
A syncopate would do it, right? Because that's 4. 1, 2, 3. No,
it would be 4.
It wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Snowman would have to pay 4, but they easily could. Looking at the mute button, fair enough. Tingtong debating.
Snowman's like, am I muted? Are you muted? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay.
All right. So now what's happening? What do we got?
This is a wild game.
Game 3.
Wild game.
Oh, absolutely. This is game 3 in the top 8. Top 8, by the way, is single elimination. So the winner of this progresses on to the semifinals. So what do we got?
No,
Tingtong's got to have something. But
Tingtong, you got to have something here.
They might be sitting on, I don't know, maybe another March of Swirling Mist or something of that nature and trying to figure out how best to time it. They also might have a Consider in hand. Now, that would be really problematic because Consider, Thirst for Discovery are in this deck. Those specifically draw cards. So, Thirst for Discovery would just be straight up suicide here. If Tingtong plays that out, it's draw 3 cards. That is lose 6 life. Game over. That card alone just completely ends it. Impulse, however, you look at the top 4 cards and you put one into your hand.
Yeah.
Which doesn't consider drawing. Even though, I mean, you're taking a card from one of the top cards and you're putting it in your hand, which I would describe drawing as doing that.
And that's one of the things that blue just doesn't do well.
Mm-hmm.
If you can stick a threat, all blue can do is just bounce it, and it comes back out. Or they can phase it, but it's still there.
Yeah, and when the blue deck has a threat on board and they're racing you, buying 1 turn is all you need.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. When we saw it here, if that voltage surge hadn't shown up, this turn for Ting Tong would have been I turn my Jin sideways and I walk into the next round. But because that voltage surge showed up right at the time when the Bank Buster just pooped out that treasure token, it was just, although they easily could have sacrificed the Bank Buster itself to get the 4 damage, which I have no doubt Snowman would have been more than happy to do.
There's some BM. Time.
There it is.
Yeah,
I have no doubt they were thinking through all their options. I mean, it's so good. And right now, like the Jun deck is one of the only decks running around right now that can like legitimately cast Titan of Industry. Actually, it looks like this particular version isn't even running it. But you got your Workshop War Chiefs, you got Sheoldred. I mean, it has access to all the best stuff, so that's pretty darn sweet.
I just love the Workshop War Chief with Fable the Mirror Breaker because it's like getting a 3-for-1. You're gaining you're gonna gain 3 life because it comes into play. You're gonna get a 5/3 trample attacker, and then when it dies, you're getting a 4/4 blocker.
It's
that's just
a lot of value, man.
Insanely paired with the Fable.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy for sure. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And you know what? I gotta say, I think I want to see one of these Grixis mid-range lists. If I can't take Jund, I think I'm rooting for one of these Grixis mid-range lists. Specifically, I'm gonna be rooting for Snowman, the one that we just watched. Take down, because I gotta say, looks good. It just looks good.
List.
Yeah, you got your Sheoldreds, you got your Corpse Appraisers. Corpse Appraiser and Fable the Mirror Breaker is savage. So that's something that, I love seeing it. I love seeing when a draft all-star like Corpse Appraiser can really bubble up and be constructed viable. I love that. And that's exactly what we see there. So, I mean, come to think of it, like Blood Tithe Harvester's Remembrance the same way. Like, there are other ones like Graveyard Trespasser that are like, or even Besaijo who endures, which we're seeing in Carter Rayleigh's hand here, that like you look at them and clearly, okay, this was designed for constructed. Like it's designed to be a limited bomb, but really this is meant to be a 4 in a constructed deck. Like that's clearly where this belongs. You look at a card like Corpse Appraisers, like it's decent value, but if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the signpost uncommons from Streets of New Capenna. Like that card was built for draft and it holds up in constructed. Like I love that. Love it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well we still have Unleash the Inferno.
True.
I'm definitely trading here.
Trading the Graveyard Trespasser for the Blood Tithe Harvester?
Yeah, I would trade.
Doesn't feel good. Oh, but here we go. Carter Rayleigh putting that stop on the upkeep so they can unleash Sheoldred prior to the draw. So that's basically their whole turn, but I'd say that's worth it.
That's worth it. You gotta attack here and get that Sheoldred out. Yeah,
exactly. Sheoldred, and you're offering the trade. They choose not to take it. Makes sense. So Faustus does have 6 damage on line. They do accept the 2-for-1 with the Infernal Grasp, discarding a Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Well, at this point, you're saying I got you on a race. I got you on a 2-turn clock,
which makes good sense. I have a feeling this Sheoldred is going to have a thing or two to say about that, though.
Sheoldred loves having a thing or two to say, though.
Kind of her thing. Yeah, she definitely makes her presence known. No question about it. And the Blood Tithe this year, too. But here comes another Infernal Grasp.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. So all of a sudden, you got 3 Infernal Grasps. And you're exactly right. I was going to make the comment, like, if you're willing to discard Fable the Mirror Breaker, what do you keep? Like, what is left?
You gotta have removal.
And a bunch of removal. Given that board presence, that is exactly what they needed. And Cardarelli is going to be drawing lands. They can blood one of them away. I would like toss the forest, probably the Karplusan Forest, and just see what you hit. But it's one of those things.
Something. Come on, Victor. I mean, 3 Infernal Grasp is pretty insane.
Totally. 3 Infernal Grasp, having seen so few cards.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, they've seen what, 11, 12 cards? Like
maybe like in the
Holy
top 15
cow.
cards, you literally just had what you needed.
That's amazing. Being able to stick 2-3 power threats on turns 2 and 3 respectively, and then have all the removal to back them up. Phenomenal.
Oh no!
Oh, that is not the time you want to see a land pocket.
How many lands was that? Was that like 5, 6 lands?
I think it was 5 lands in a row. Yeah.
We got that giveaway coming up, guys.
Yes.
Everyone in chat, make sure you get in the giveaway. You type in pizza, get in there. It's 10% off coupon from MagictheGathering.com. Get in there.
Buddy.
What are you doing?
Get after it. Yeah, and Cardarelli scooping it up because, like, at the end of the day, Faustus had a very aggressive start, a really aggressive early hand, and the removal to back it up. So it's funny. We talk about, like, that right there is actually one of the things that I really like about watching mid-range matchups, because we do talk about how a lot of games end up going grindier and it becomes who can get card advantage and eke out enough value. But sometimes you just got balls to the walls aggro. Like, when it lines up, man, you got to take the shot.
When you just have the cards that you need, the removal pieces that you need, you're just going to lay down the law.
That's it. What are you going to do? Exactly. It's exactly what you got to do. All right.
Someone in chat just said they're rooting for someone whoever doesn't have children in their list. Well, unfortunately, oh wait, no. Unfortunately,
actually, does everybody have children in the list right now?
I'm pretty sure there are no lists that don't have children in their list.
At this point, yeah, children is definitely the. I mean, there's some decks that only have 2 instead of a full 4.
I mean,
that's something.
You want to root for less, or you want to root for more?
I don't know. It's rough, man. It's it's a tough. Card's good, man. It's so funny too. Good. Like, after the new Jin-Gitaxias and Urabrask, I was ready to dismiss whatever Praetor they brought out next. I was like, it's going to be some weird janky build around. It's not going to be great. And when I saw Sheldred, it's like, she looks good, but is she really that good? And it's like, looking back on it, I'm like, what was I on? Like, of course she's that good. A 4/5 Death Toucher for 4 is worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah.
And then having a 4-point life swing every turn cycle just because. And then if you're doing other card draw, which, by the way, everyone wants to do anyway, like, it just hurts your opponents and helps you even more. Like, yeah, she's nuts, dude. Straight up nuts.
The doggo's asking to go outside. I got to take the doggo outside.
Do what you got to do. Yep. All right. But yeah, so it is we are living in a Sheldred world. It is what it is. But yeah, so again, huge thank you to MagictheGathering.com for supporting this tournament and sponsoring the stream for today. It means the world. MagictheGathering.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. You can buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear, get MTGA codes, singles packs, merchandise, and more. You can even use Bitcoin as well as traditional payment methods. All of it's available. Definitely check it out. You can even become a vendor and start selling your own products on the Magic Jank marketplace today. There are monthly giveaways, so you can sign up for those. Keep an eye out as future giveaways come out as well. Definitely sign up when they become available. And you can even become a Magic Jank member. Get free priority shipping, 2 times reward points, automatic entry into the monthly prize giveaways, special deals, and more. And if you are a streamer or content creator out there, you can even sign up to become an affiliate and earn up to 5% on any clicks that ultimately lead to a purchase. So if you want to make a little bit extra money on the side as a content creator, we all know how important that is. It's a great way to do it and just help spread the word about Magic Jank. Get some stuff out there. Now so we're going into game 2 here. We've already had some action. Cardarelli being able to duress the Invoke Despair out of Faustus's hand is just awesome. However, there's, of course, another one, as well as an Obnixilis, which is not what you want to see, especially when your opponent has the advantage on board already. So at this point, playing out Sorin and creating that token is really just mitigating the value of the Invoke Despair at this point. Because you're playing one card, and so instead of getting the guaranteed 3-for-1, it's kind of a guaranteed 2-for-1, because it gets rid of a token that the Planeswalker created in addition to the Planeswalker itself. So not a terrible situation, I guess, but it's still pretty rough. It's not where you want to be. Cardarelli playing out the Workshop Warchief, choosing not to blitz it in, instead getting the life, having the creature on board, forcing Faustus to kind of deal with it, you know, and I appreciate that. If they had blitzed it in, they would have gotten an attack, but they're not really in a position to take advantage of, you know, because what's the difference between 20 life and 15 life if you don't have a consistent way to apply pressure on the board?
Oh man, I thought for sure another invoke was coming.
Right? Well, one got duressed away. Yeah, Cardarelli did duress one away, but Faustus had 2 in hand, which is, of course, not what you want to see. That's rough times.
Man, what do you do here?
It's not looking good. At the end of the day, Faustus just had a crazy hand. So we have, I mean, this is the second game in a row where, like, Cardarelli's setup isn't awful, but Faustus is just insane. Like, it's just,
you can make them sacrifice the Kiki-Jiki. Kiki-Jiki's CMC is 3.
Yep. That's true.
I think you'd want to do that now before they get to their turn, when they kind of...
Yeah, because the moment it even goes to the upkeep, they have the ability to activate Kiki-Jiki, and now they do. So that can do stuff. Comes draw off the Bankbuster. Fancy Bankbuster. If you're into styles on Arena, I think Bankbuster's probably one worth picking up.
Bankbuster has probably the best style there. Yeah.
Agreed. It's lovely, but on top of that, it fits into so many decks right now, you're probably going to see it. Like, how many lovely cosmetics are out there, but you're like, I just don't play this card, so it doesn't really make sense for me to buy it. You know, but with that one, you'll play it. Yeah, like when I see people with the fancy reflection of Kiki-Jiki, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. I can get behind that. I don't have it myself yet, but I don't know.
Still get a 4/4. Okay, you need to do it now.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and now if
I would have done it before before it resolves, so you can get rid of Kiki-Jiki, because now you're getting punished.
Yeah, because the reflection can create a copy of the Graveyard Trespasser. It's gonna go with the Blood Tithe Harvester instead, though. You're gonna rip a blood token. They can't activate it for value at this point. But I mean, there aren't really. I mean, you have to block. There's no way around it. As good as it gets, I suppose. They're probably going to go with the card draw option on Riveteur's Charm at this point. Yeah, he's on the top 3. Get some options. Sheldred's pretty solid. Sheldred into Graveyard Trespasser, and even hitting the land drop for turn for good measure. You can do worse than that.
Yeah. And that kind of gains you life here.
Yeah, don't let the auto tapper mess you up with those pain lands. Good call. Yep,
auto tapper does love doing that.
It's true. That is a thing. And now Graveyard Trespasser is going to gain you 1 life here. You can even attack with the other one, gain additional life. And yeah, I mean, Faust is still in a pretty good spot. Oh, no more creatures. Never mind.
I definitely would have looked first before swinging, but you know, it is what it is.
Yep. But at this point, you're offering a trade, and now Cardarelli has established the dominant board position, and Faustus takes the trade. That's interesting.
Trade
Although
good here,
they're about to have the double Kiki combo, which I have jokingly referred to.
Double Kiki combo is,
yeah,
and you can do it a lot.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, there's a lot of mana sitting over there, and they didn't activate the Bankbuster because they plan to. And with Cardarelli being only at 6 life, I mean, they don't really have a choice but to batten on the hatches. But with the double Kiki combo, if you're not familiar, you wait until your opponent's end step. Then what happens is you activate one of the Kiki-Jikis to make a copy of the other Kiki-Jiki because they are not legendary. You then use the copy to make a copy of one of the other ones. Then use that copy to make a copy. And so for every 1 mana, you create a 2/2 Kiki-Jiki. You then untap because it was the end step, and they disappear at your next end step, or at the next end step, which is after your turn. So you now have the ability to attack with all of them. And I think Cardarelli knows it's coming, and they're kind of helpless to do anything about it. And now here we are, end step.
So 1, 2. I mean, they can do all of them, right?
Yeah. Yep. So here we have, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Card
Carter really knows it's a good game. Yeah.
At
Oh,
8
man.
life, there was definitely enough.
You just duress the duress, right?
I mean, that's definitely an option. Yeah.
Or did you do duress the bank busters? Just say, you know what, you're gonna be able to look at my hand. Okay.
Yeah, it all depends. If Gleason has action in their hand that they want to protect, now Bankbuster's going to hit, which Snowman's going to be pretty happy about. All right. And there is there's a new code, or a new giveaway, rather, for a code for 6 packs on MTGA, sponsored by MagicTheGathering. Enter pizza in chat for your chance to win that. And the winner will be announced in the finals. So definitely jump in on that. Yes, MagicTheGathering.com. If you have Magic product that you would like to buy or sell, definitely check it out. All right, so Reckoner Bankbuster's online. It can draw some cards. We've seen what that can do. It's pretty nice. Now you're sitting with an Invoke Despair, Infernal Grasp, negate, all the mana in the world.
Yeah, you're just playing Rafine's Tower here. And now, why? Okay, are they playing? Do they have apparel? Is that why they're playing Rafine's Tower?
I believe that's the case. I think there's Path of Peril in the list. Yes, or at least in the sideboard.
It's Snowman, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
Actually, I'm actually not seeing it. Rafine's Tower might just be in there for the mill, but there's Xander's Lounge, or for the cycling rather. But yeah, you have Xander's Lounge for that. Huh. That is interesting.
I think it would have definitely played the Rafine down, because you still need the black mana, right? You need 4 black mana. You're not going to have it next turn.
Mm-hmm.
You negate this off the cuff.
Oh, yeah. You get an opportunity to play 2 mana and prevent Fable the Mirror Breaker from hitting. You do that.
You do so.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, look at that black off the top. Let's go.
Perfect. Yep.
I need 3 cards, please, and to lose 6 life.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
Man. And you're telling me Meat Hook was a problem?
Well, that's the thing, man. Yeah, frankly, yes, I do think Meat Hook was a problem. But yeah, I'm not saying Invoke Despair is not a problem. Don't get me wrong. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, this is brutal. All right, so we just do a Corpse Appraiser here.
Yep. It resolves, yeah.
Give me a card.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
You have your choice of Invoke Despairs? Oh, my goodness.
Now you know. That just says, like, that tells Gleason, hey, I took Despair. Because one went to the yard and I got to negate. Despair's in my hand.
Yeah, there is a Despair in my hand. That's all that means. Now, Snowman has a couple options. They can cycle the Rafine's Tower. They can abrade the Bankbuster. Or play out a Blood Death Harvester.
I think this is greedy. I think this is greedy because you have 2 counters on your Bankbuster. Like, why wouldn't you hold off?
Yeah, fair question.
That's 2 cards for a little bit of damage, which is when you have Invoke in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Snowman could have sat back, not worried about any of the damage. The Vulture Surge may have come down on the Appraiser, but excuse me, not the end of the world.
I think my cough is rubbing off on you there.
I know, man. It's contagious. It's saying something because, yeah, we're how many miles apart? Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
And I am in southern Michigan in the United States.
Yeah.
So actually, as far as the world is concerned, we're not super far apart. But as far as germs are concerned, we are quite a ways away. Yeah.
We're definitely more than 6 feet, that's for sure.
100%, yes. By a fair amount, yeah. And here comes the Invoke, which is one of the few decent answers to Fable. Because it eats that token and then also gets rid of the enchantment. And they just casually drew an Abrade and with 2 mana up. So if there is a Bankbuster or a 3 toughness creature that Gleason follows up with, it's just going to go bye-bye.
Where's Shieldred at? Where's Shieldred at?
I mean, at this point, that actually would be pretty nice. Yeah, if
I think I would have definitely kept that black land that can yeah, right? They can't really return anything yet. It like mills 3 and then returns something.
Yep. Yeah, Tekken, I think it actually even mills 4. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, Takenuma, Abandoned Mire. Oh, no, it is 3. You're right. But yeah, mills 3, then you can return a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty strong. As far as utility lands go, it's not bad.
And they're just chilling right now. Like Snowman can get another card with a Rafine. Ooh. I do love Siphon Insight.
Siphon Insight's pretty sweet. Because, I mean, there is a 4th Despair in there. There is Sheoldred. There's some good stuff. I mean, Graveyard Trespasser.
There's some good hits. Good hits.
A lot of good hits. And here comes the flashback Siphon Insight. I mean, effectively kind of a memory deluge off of Snowman's library. It could be, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what those 2 cards are. Let's see. Fable.
Turns out one of those Fable.
That's a good hit. That's a good hit.
That's a real good hit.
A Braid can take care of the Shaman, which is fine. Here comes Corpse Appraiser. Sure. Well, a Braid's probably going to take care of that now, come to think of it. Yeah. So an Appraiser's going to eat an Appraiser, which I suppose flavorfully sounds kind of weird. Maybe I shouldn't phrase it like that, but here we are. All right. Yeah, and the Rafine's Tower's
need the card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
as a land.
Oh, man.
Yuck. Now, you can blood some of these away. But the question is it worth it to activate the Blood Tithe Harvester first to get rid of one of these threats? Because, I mean, once you use the blood, the Harvesters are offline, effectively. So, yeah, now, you play the 1 land for turn. Cycle away the pain land with the blood. There's Anders Launch. You got plenty of mana.
Three lands off the top. 4 lands off the top.
My goodness. This is unreal. Yeah, so we have a situation where Snowman's like card velocity and draw earlier in this game was looking fantastic. You know, those Invoked Despairs, like we mentioned, really helped set them up to just run away with this. And now they're kind of sputtering a little bit, and that land pocket definitely didn't help.
Yeah, 4 lands off the top, and like I said, it's so brutal when you're left to the mercy of the top of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
When you just you're like, okay, I have 5 card draw effects here, and then you draw 5 lands. That's just the worst. And the fact that that Gleason can see that you drew 5 lands.
Right. Well, and just there, Gleason actually just went to chapter 2 of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker that they stole from Snowman with a Siphon Insight and discarded 2 lands and drew 2 fresh cards. Snowman just looking on with a little bit of jealousy, no doubt, at that Fable. All right. Now it's Gleason's post-combat main. They have 6 mana up. 3 cards in hand, plus a Reckoner Bankbuster.
And there's their bank, and that's Snowman's Bankbuster, by the way.
Right? Yeah.
So they off the Siphon Insight, you got the Fable and the Bankbuster.
Those are 2 really good hits. Out of the top 4, effectively, looking at the top 2 each time. Oh, and they have an enchantment and an artifact now, both of which they stole from Snowman. So Soul Transfer is going to get back a Corpse Appraiser in addition to destroying the Blood Tithe Harvester. Ouch. But there's...
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Great draw. All right. You want to draw some cards? Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead. Draw some cards.
By all means. Please continue. Now, Corpse Appraiser, like we were saying with Impulse earlier, Corpse Appraiser does not draw cards. You select it and put it into your hand. So it's not going to trigger Sheoldred, even though you do go up a card in hand with it. So that's noteworthy. But if I'm Gleason, I'm still just ripping that. Like, I'm not. I mean, depending on what the other cards are, of course. Because if you have an answer for Sheoldred, you're gonna use it here. Yeah, chowing down on one Corpse Appraiser. I don't know why I keep saying that as though it's flavored as eating, because it's definitely not. A Graveyard Glutton is, but Corpse Appraiser definitely not. You're just.
It's
I don't know actually how. Yeah, so
appraising.
the Corpse Appraiser is like looking at the bodies. Yeah, the Infernal Grasp. Going down to 5. I mean, Snowman still definitely has the life total advantage. Plus another blood token just chilling there. Voltage Surge is looking pretty good here.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the question. Do they use the Voltage Surge, sacrifice the blood token, get rid of the Corpse Appraiser, and attack, putting him on a 2-turn clock, more or less forcing Gleason to block with Kiki Jiki? I mean, well, they could also crew the Bank Buster.
Well, they could crew the Bank Buster.
So they don't really have an attack, which is unfortunate, but c'est la vie. And now the blood is gone. The Harvester can't tap to deal with the reflection. My goodness. So really it comes down to what Snowman draws. There's the Invoke Despair. That is just such a savage swing every time it comes out. My goodness.
It's brutal. It's brutal. And like the fact that you get so many cards off of it.
Kiki Jiki beats. It's happening.
These lands are insane.
Oh yeah. Well, now I'm curious how many. Well, there's Sheoldred. Okay, that's all right. That's what you need. You know, and it looks like Snowman is running 26 lands, which, to be fair, is a fair amount. 5 of which are the Cycling Triomes, 4 Xander's Lounge, 1 Rafine's Tower. Then you've got Takenuma and Otawara, 2 of the channeling lands, which are effectively spells a lot of the time. And here comes Siphon
is doing so much work. Because, again, this doesn't draw.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a way of finding cards without having to find cards.
And here comes another Siphon. These are main phase Siphons.
Yeah, well, they're looking for removal for Sheoldred.
Oh, absolutely. Even Infernal Grasp that would put him into 1 here is definitely worth it. It's not fun, but if that's what you got, you're gonna do it. All right, one of those was a land. So wait a minute. Gleason just pulled a land off the Siphon. There were more lands on top of Snowman's deck?
Yeah,
more
goodness. Lands and more lands.
This is absurd. Wow.
And it's like, yeah, you swing here. You swing here. You have to force the block.
Yep. Force the block, and they can't kill Sheoldred, so.
Down to 1.
And now Gleason can't afford to take advantage.
Oh no!
Of,
can't draw Kiki.
Yep, and the Bank Buster is effectively just dead in the water right now. Can't activate that either. And now you're in front of Grasper offline.
Oh my goodness! What
Holy
a game!
Cow.
What a game!
Sheoldred bringing it home. Wow.
And just like that, like Sheoldred could just win you the game.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin', even after the invokes too.
So good, man. Holy cow. Yeah, the card's incredible. The card is absolutely incredible. All right, and a quick update from around the league. The other competitors in the semifinals have oh no, actually we got a chance to see that game. No, I'm kidding. The Reckless Midrange. I would just refresh my MTGmelee and saw that was Gen Midrange knocked out. Man, this match has been going a while.
Yeah, this has been going in a minute.
Yeah, which is, I mean,
but
it's been fantastic.
Does that mean it's going to be what? Rakdos, right? It'll be Rakdos versus Grixis?
Rakdos midrange versus one of these Grixis decks. Yep. Wow, this is going to... Oh, my goodness. Game 3. All right.
Also, for those at home, we are cheering for the Philadelphia Eagles to get their 6th win this week.
Okay. You know, and here, yeah, it's funny actually. When it comes to the NFL, I generally root for the Minnesota Vikings because my family's from Minnesota, even though I live in Southern Michigan. Because, I mean, should I root for the Lions?
I mean,
they're the ultimate underdogs.
They are
Always.
the ultimate underdogs.
Ultimate underdogs. There's no, like, anyway. I find it fascinating. It's funny though, because like, yes, I am a Vikings fan. I'm rooting for the Vikings and whoever the Packers are playing. Like that's just those are the teams I'm rooting for on Sundays. But at the end of the day, I think before I die, I would want to see the Lions win the Super Bowl before the Vikings. Like if I had some kind of magic wand, if I was given some kind of sports-based wish, I would want to see the Lions win it just because what are the chances of that?
Just like the ultimate underdog winning it all.
Yeah.
That's like that was basically what 2017 for my Eagles? Like
yeah,
the ultimate underdog going against the Patriots, Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. There've been a couple of like there were a couple years there where the New York Giants going up against the Patriots. It was the same deal where like the Eli Manning like 9-6 Giants barely squeaked into the playoffs and then ended up winning the whole freaking thing. Like what? Like those storylines are a blast. I love watching that stuff. Anyway,
that kind of stuff is always a blast to watch. I don't get me wrong. I love watching the underdog teams, but I love watching like when you get your team. It's just like you're rooting for it, and it's just smacking it out. It feels real good.
No, when your team is firing, it's pretty fantastic. All right, so this duress. Okay, we're in game 3. Here we go. Let Grixis v Grixis, and that duress is going to.
I knew that duress was coming because that means this is a turn 3 Fable's coming out.
Yep. Yeah, like and Hearse is good.
Hearse is good, but it's no Fable.
But Make Disappear would have been better. Yep, exactly. Yeah, Make Disappear would have been a whole lot better. All right. Yeah. So Unlicensed Hearse is just going to keep that graveyard as clean as possible. And here we have a Haunted Ridge coming down. There are no creatures in the graveyard, so Corpse Appraiser is just a 3/3 for 3 at this point.
Which is not great.
Yeah, and mildly problematic. Definitely not what you want to be getting off that.
I think you go Harvester here. You put up the Harvester.
Well, you put up the Harvester, and then when Gleason inevitably attacks with the Shaman, you can block and then exile the Harvester with the Corpse Appraiser the following turn and get your cards. So that's not bad. It's not an amazing line. I don't love trading 3/2 cards for 2/2 tokens. I would not recommend doing that a lot, but sometimes it's what you need to do. Unless, of course, Gleason discards a creature here to Fable the Mirror Breaker. That would be nice. I don't think it's likely, though. Yeah. Chucking his Andrew's Lounge. So, bypassing the cycling cost. I respect that. Choosing not to block. Now, there were a couple of options there. They could have crewed the Hearse, declared the block, then tap, exile 2 cards, turn into a 3/3.
That's true.
That was a line. But then the Hearse would have been tapped and also vulnerable to removal. So I'm not mad at that. Here comes another Fable. Yikes. That is not what Snowman wanted to see.
Yeah, and you are in some trouble.
Oh, yeah. One Appraiser's going to get chucked. Sure.
Land. Oh, man, the worst. Don't my turn yet. Damn, you go close. That was close.
That was. All right.
You got to go to their graveyard, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need that corpse there to at least get a draw or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, they could have got the Make Disappear, which would have been fine, but yeah. Another Appraiser, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think you throw Appraiser, get the card.
You have to so that you can block and get a card. You're in some real trouble here with both of the goblins that are out there. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Choosing Shieldred.
Okay.
Over a Fable.
Yeah, choosing Shieldred, and that's another one of the situations. One of the things I really dig about the Corpse Appraiser is when those cards flip into the graveyard, it can make a statement. Like we were saying with the Invoke flipping into the graveyard last game.
Hey, I got this.
I got this. This is what I got. Like, yeah, I saw 2 of these because I'm not going to pass one if I didn't see another one. And when you see 2 Fables flip, it's like, uh-oh, what did they keep? Realistically, it's probably not another Fable. Like, statistically, that's probably not the case, but it's good. It's going to be an Invoke. It's going to be a Shieldred. It's got to be something scary. And in this case, it happens to be a Shieldred. All right. I love seeing the love for the birds in chat. Let's go.
One of the cards is a land at least. If they're ditching a land, you know that one card in their hand is a land.
Infernal Grasp, Corpse Appraiser, which, to be honest, if you're Snowman, you're more than happy to see that because that is an Infernal Grasp that's not targeting Shieldred next turn.
Yeah. I'm blocking here.
I think I am too, and I'm not happy about it, but at this point, Snowman's just not in a position to put the squeeze on Gleason. So it's not like this Harvester is going to be attacking anytime soon.
Yeah, well, and you just need to get rid of this. Like, they're creating treasures. Like, Gleason's not playing lands right now.
Absolutely. Make appears a little late to the party here. Now, you can hold Make Disappear up in case of, like, an Invoke Despair coming out of Gleason's deck, I guess. But I'm not worried about that so much. Yeah, so Corpse Appraiser, drawn to with something. I think that a Braid is pretty tasty because I can get that Reflection of Kiki-Jiki offline before it has an opportunity to cause any damage.
Opting to go for the land?
Hovering over the land, considering it.
You need to get rid of that Kiki-Jiki.
Yeah, I think the Braid and kill it before untaps is where I want to be. That's my thought anyway. We'll see if Gleason agrees. Full control on the end step.
Oh man, this is
Ooh. Countering that's count. Oh,
but
yeah.
It's a tough call, but it's Siphon. You're gonna get another one.
Right. Well, and on top of that, there are the 2 treasure tokens over there.
Yeah.
So you'd have to casualty. Yeah, so you'd be going down 2 cards just to delay this. I mean, you would be denying 1 card draw. Yeah. Ugh. This is interesting. Well, it's funny too because Gleason, it appears that they're stuck on 4 lands, but 2 of which are pain lands, to be fair, which we're seeing causing some pain appropriately. But they have these 2 treasure goblins.
Yeah, you gotta block here. You gotta. I don't get the reasoning behind taking 2 here.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is there either. Bankbuster?
Yeah, because you're just giving them more mana, like more and more mana.
All right, here comes Shelly with the Make Disappear back to potentially protect her. So, depending on how Gleason wants to try to take her out. All right. That's popping the treasures.
Yeah, draws the card now, so that's good.
Yeah, draw the card before she hits the field. Makes sense. Yep, makes a lot of sense. And everybody, this is the semifinals. We are on game 3. The winner of this moves on into the finals for today. And will have an opportunity to compete for the championship slot at today's PizzaBox Open. Let's see. Siphon Insight coming down.
Still taking damage off these lands.
Yeah, those lands actually are doing a lot of work for Snowman. Yeah.
Well, Snowman hasn't even connected once, have they?
I don't.
Okay, there's a black land there that they
there
can.
It is. Yeah. So the Sulfur Springs aren't going to be the only black sources anymore outside of the treasures.
Oh goodness, I like this.
Yeah,
like that.
Surge. Yeah, Vulture Surge taking out Fable. Fable can copy one of those little goblin shamans for the time being, which is fine, but
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just one more block. It's an expendable blocker. So you know, Sheldred might just not attack this turn. Oh, darn. You know, not that big of a deal.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Crewing the Bank Buster.
Well, they just soul transfer here.
Yeah, making it open to a soul transfer, exactly. But soul transfer is sorcery.
No, don't attack with
Can't afford. No, it's a
Yep.
sorcery. Can't afford to attack with Sheldred here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. If you're going to do that, it had to be before going to combat. Yep. Soul transfer is a great card, but the fact that it is sorcery speed is a huge knock against it.
It's yeah.
Because man, you want it to be an instant so bad, but it just isn't. Yeah.
Okay, so they got to find a removal, and then they got to have. Okay, so I get why. Yeah, let it happen.
Yep. Yeah, the idea being you just counter whatever they
and there's the land. Okay, so
they take a land. One more land, Snowman's not going to draw. Okay, fine. Here comes another Siphon. And if they do hit a 2-mana removal spell, you're not mad because you have to make disappear up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's, I mean, honestly, that's probably GG's if that's how it plays out.
Well, it's all the top of the deck. I mean, like right now, Snowman is top decking.
There's Infernal Grasp.
Yeah. Okay, Infernal Grasp. And you don't have to sacrifice anything, so that's sweet.
Yeah, so Sheldred just hangs out. That was a lot of action on that turn for not much.
Yeah, you can double swing.
Mm-hmm. Forcing some uncomfortable blocks. You lose a Harvester, you're not too worried about it. Especially because now you can use Soul Transfer to pull it back if you wanted.
You can bring back a corpse, right? Oh, no, the corpses are gone.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm definitely bringing back a Blood Tithe. Oh, no, yeah. There's two, there's 3 black there.
Well, yeah, I mean, your options are, or just, wait, because at the end of the day, if Gleason is successful in getting a threat down, you are going to want some kind of removal for it so the Sheldred can just continue dominating this board. Now, I am fascinated by the fact that Gleason has 4 cards in hand. There's the Invoke. Yeah. That was clutch.
We're waiting for the Invoke.
Yep. I was just about to say, I'm fascinated there are 4 cards in hand, and none of them we're seeing play. But
we haven't seen an Invoke yet.
True. But now Soul Transfer can bring Sheldred back.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this land is tapped, so Snowman can't just run Sheldred out. And Sanjalon does a little dance. By the way, they added animations for the new Capenna Triomes, which is just cool. They're just a neat little thing that they now have, which is cool. However, they didn't add one for Jetmir's.
Way to get the shoulder out of there before the Quartz Appraiser comes down.
Yeah. They didn't add one for Jetmir's Garden for some reason. It seems weird to me. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Quartz Appraiser. And so now, I mean, at this point, Gleason is just drawing cards. They're just drawing cards. And the timer comes up, but we are in game 3 here, so I'm not too worried about. You know, I don't think that's going to be the factor that makes this game.
We're more than. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we can Sheldred and then we can go into Fabled. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, those are 2 big bombs, and you got the mana to play both. Yeah. And now the pressure's on Gleason to have answers. Although, again, 4 cards, and they did just draw 2 fresh ones off Invoke not too long ago.
Make Disappear's there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Make Disappear is savage here.
That's fine. We have Fable. Hopefully they don't have another Invoke.
Yeah, another Invoke hurt real bad. Granted, it would only give Gleason 1 more card, but still. They're going to Abrade the Goblin Shaman. Not ideal. So now the Fable is basically just going to give Snowman the option of cycling whatever card they draw.
Getting rid of Shieldred here.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What a crazy game 3.
My goodness. This whole match has been full of back and forths. I mean, it is a mirror match at the end of the day. I mean, we're talking 2 Grixis mid-range decks, but holy cow. They have just been neck and neck, trading blow for blow this whole match. You got to let this go. It's not fun, but it's one of those things. If you can get your hands on an Invoke, you just win. A Braid keeps you around, I guess.
Yeah, well, a Braid, you got to get rid of the Bank Buster. Bank Buster can just bury you in cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you can have one, but that's it.
That's it, exactly. You just pay 4 mana to draw 1 card. That's it. That's all you're getting. It makes sense. Yeah, and as much as you want to get rid of, the Corpse Appraiser is obviously, an immediate threat as well. But yeah, you're right. The Bank Buster is just going to be too strong over time.
This late in the game, you can kill Clock here.
Now, a couple turns ago, Snowman did have a Xander's Lounge in hand, and they chose to play it instead of cycling it. They could be 1 card deeper here. Also, holy cow, these Siphon Insights.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think MVP is Siphon Insight, because this is how Gleason's winning. It's because they're taking Snowman's win cons out of their deck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was his Siphon.
That was
hilarious. Hilarious.
That was awesome.
You help me, I help you. That's so funny.
I love it. Man, so they're just drawing each other's cards, because why not? All right.
Oh, take the Abrade?
Yeah, take the Abrade, blast the Appraiser, or you take the Appraiser, you take 3 to the face, you get to draw another card next turn. Holy cow. This is wild.
A wild turn of events.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Corpse Appraiser with the flip Geeky Jeeky, that can take over a game if left unanswered. So let's see what happens here. I mean, Bank Buster.
Yeah,
Bank Buster all day.
All day. All day.
No hesitation, no question. That is 100% what you do there.
Say it loud for the people in the back, Ham. All day.
All day. Bank Buster all day.
Bank Buster all day. I'll see you, mate.
Exactly. That's what's up. All right. And they chose not to just draw the card off the Bank Buster. They are holding the Shivan Reef back to bluff, interaction.
I have interaction, I swear.
I have a card. I mean, as I've been known to do that, where I hold one land back in my hand and then put stops on my opponent's turn. Yeah, just to go to full control and just
No invoke.
Invoke would be devastating here, no question.
No invoke.
And
please, no invoke.
Between both decks, Gleason has seen a lot of cards. So, I'm not even sure who owns what anymore, to be honest.
Okay, so I don't know whose cards are who.
I don't know whose appraisers these are. I'm not exactly sure. But it doesn't really matter. I know who. Oh,
that was his invoke. Oh,
that's the worst.
You get the card, you crew, or do you just say, fuck it, leave the corpse?
They just drew it.
No, you say leave the corpse. Yeah. Oh, no. Is there another invoke off the top? That would be, what a way to end the game.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well, that ends the game either way. Yeah. Wow. How many games have we watched today that invoke was the game winner?
Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you.
Huge thank you to our sponsor, MagicJank.com, the new MTG marketplace for Magic singles, packs, accessories, you name it, we got it. MagicJank.com. Definitely.
I swear, the Freddy person, the person that we're watching right now, I don't think we have not seen them not have Invoke Despair in their opening hand.
4 lands, a Graveyard Trespasser, and 2 Invokes. I've never seen snappier keep than that. Sort of like it's a little slow. Like sure, a Blood Tithe or a Bankbuster to give you something to do on 2 would be nice. And they just drew their 4th Black Manosaurs. So they're going to be able to hit Invoke on time. They have 5 lands, 2 Invokes, and a Trespasser. Like, and there's the Blood Tithe Harvester before turn 2. Are you kidding me?
Talk about, hey, I'm drawing the nuts.
This is the nuts. Strap in, everybody. Once we get to turn 5 into turn 6, like, I kind of wish we had face cams on our competitors because I have a feeling we would just watch the joy drain from Gleason's face. Because
viewers, sorry. We have a prediction in the chat. Pick your predictions.
Absolutely. Get in there. Pick your horse. Who are you rooting for? Ours got eliminated. So now it's your time.
We're out. Yeah, we're out. It's your time.
We're out. You got to carry it. Carry for
Get those pizza points.
Let's go. All right. I mean, so we have Fable, the Mirror Breaker, Graveyard Trespasser. I mean, the hits are here. They're good cards on both sides, but
the fact that they're gonna have the 5 black mana too on curve.
It's so nuts, man. Oh my goodness. And yeah, Corpse Appraiser has the Harvester to work with. All right.
Man. This is always it just okay, cool. All right, we have a cut down. Cut down is decent.
Yeah. Cut down solid.
I would have offered the trade here, I think.
Okay. Yeah, but now you have a 4/4 online, so they can't reasonably attack with the Corpse Appraiser. That's pretty nice.
I mean, that's fair. But hello. Who hits their invoke first?
Turn order matters. They're gonna cut down the little Shemansky. Now, the other option they had there was they could have channeled Kenzen to produce 2 of those little 1/1 spirits, sacrifice one of those to keep the Graveyard Glutton.
Oh man, that's some 5-head play right there.
That would have been an option, but they chose not to, and yeah, which is fine, But now here comes their own Invoke Despair. Here it comes.
You're gonna lose 2 life. You're gonna lose 2 creatures.
Yeah, 2 creatures, 2 life, 1 card coming the other way. My goodness. All right. But yeah, had they channeled Kenzen and gotten the other, spirit down, they would have had a Graveyard Glutton after hitting that Despair. That's...
Oh, okay. So I see what they did there.
Oh, they sacrificed Kiki-Jiki as the creature.
As a creature, so then they don't lose, so it's not at 2/4.
But it said, Faust drew 2 cards, but the 3/3 still live. So okay, fair enough. And now we have an interesting, challenge where does Faust just rip another Invoke, get one of these Appraisers offline, and start doing, just start drawing more cards, or do you stick Sheoldred? They choose to stick Sheoldred. Plus, they have the blood token
because you have the blood token, which is going to gain you 2 life.
Yeah, gain you 2 life in addition to get one of those swamps out of there, and then Invoke next turn with Sheoldred down, assuming Sheoldred survives, which is definitely
there's
not.
No way. The Gleason's definitely gonna have another Invoke here. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones. Soul Transfer. Okay.
That will do it. Yeah.
That'll do. That'll do.
And an exile, so Takanuma can't get it back, which is definitely a bummer. And a Haunted Ridge, definitely not what Faust was wanting to see there, but here we are.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie, exactly. My goodness, we were talking about how insane that hand was, and I gotta say, Gleason is doing a great job of applying the pressure with the Corpse Appraisers.
We still have it's only 2 mana. Okay. So we need removal here.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is going to get countered. Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
No, it resolves. Yeah. Bankbuster is fine. It's at least something to use that mana on. But if Gleason has an Invoke or their own Sheoldred, basically any way of dealing 2 additional damage, then this is over.
Yeah, I think this is just GG's. I think we just scoop her up and go to the next game.
Yeah, they're gonna hang on here because
See, I know. Then these decks are missing meat hooks so much.
Oh my goodness!
Because there's no viable board wipe anymore. So if you just stick a bunch of creatures, you're just stuck.
Right. Well, in this situation, yeah, meat hook would be great because you pay 5, meat it for 3. You're back in this. They're out of it. You know, malicious malfunction is the -2/-2. That doesn't do the job here. Path of Peril, these both cost 3. That doesn't do the job here, unless you kick it with white, and then you're paying 6. Once you're working with 6 mana, there's all kinds of stuff you could be doing. Yeah, no, you're right. There isn't a. I mean, drag to the bottom. Actually, but in this Rakdos list, that isn't really going to do the job either. So yeah, Sheoldred, if Sheoldred survives, looks pretty good here. The check of the graveyard. Seeing if Graveyard Trespasser can get that sweet ETB.
Any creatures in the yard? Yeah, that's what I figured. There's no creatures in the yard. Fable it's gonna be.
Fable it is. Yep. And depending on what they draw next turn, they could discard 2 and draw 2.
Make disappear does it.
Yep. Exactly.
Woof.
Yeah, they needed that second blocker in a big bad way.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, and come the rest of the duresses. Cut down's getting out of there because against those 3/3s, that does squat diddly.
The choking. What is that? So for green,
choking miasma. It is effectively it's very similar to malicious malfunction. It gives all creatures -2/-2, but if you kick it for 1 green, you also put a +1/+1 counter on your whole squad first. So you buff your team up and then knock everybody down. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a cool alternative. Like a lot of Jund lists have run.
Imagine running a 4 of Soul Transfer.
Right.
Do you ever think that card was ever a 4 of worthy?
At this level, absolutely not. No, like I just didn't. I thought it was fine. Like I thought it was a decent 2 of maybe, but I never would have thought that it was like the jam is a 4 of. But yeah. But apparently, yeah, it was exactly the right thing there. My goodness. It's bonkers, yo. Bonkers.
It's bonkers, yo.
It's bonkers. This is, I mean, these cards are good, man. The cards are good. I don't know what to say.
Cards are good.
It's funny. Like, I actually did some research. If I may be, so self-indulgent. The last couple of days, I was doing research for a YouTube video that I'm going to be posting over on my channel soon. All about, cards on the reserve list that are not that great. Because, the OG duels and the Power 9 get all the love. But, what else is on this list? Because it's over 500 cards.
Yeah.
And some of them are quite terrible.
I can tell you one card that I'm in love with. It's paired when paired with Leyline of the Void. It's a win con.
Helm of Obedience.
You know it. Helm of Obedience is one of my favorite cards on the reserve list.
Dude, I was in a Commander pod just yesterday where somebody got hit by that. It's insane. So good. Yeah.
You're like, mill you out? Oh, what?
I was like, I'm gonna activate this, target you, and now you're dead. Wait, what? It's vicious. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So here we go. We're in. It's happening. We had a duress early, hit a Reckoner Bankbuster, pretty good hit. And now Gleason's hand is just loaded. We got Fable, we've got Sheoldred. There's a negate just chilling, being a negate.
Being a negate.
Being a negate like you do, Zero, no need to exile that duress. Doesn't really do anything either way. I don't believe in this matchup, but still. Yeah. All right, groovy cool. So here we go. So, I mean, that negate just being locked and loaded. So Faust had a choice with the duress to go after the Reckoner Bankbuster because that thing can draw 3 cards throughout the course of the game and be a really good, a big body they got to tangle with. So made sense, not a bad call. The issue is though, they left the negate sitting in their hand. That is going to be a factor until Gleason rips it.
Yeah.
But Soul Transfer being able to just take a clean shot at Sheoldred because the man is not there for negate. That's pretty nice. And now they're even gonna
let's get it for 7 damage. Like I like this. I like
absolutely.
this.
Now is a fine time to get aggressive. Yep, put him on the clock. Because frankly, now Gleason's in a position where they can't reasonably attack with these goblins. I mean, only one of them is available to attack anyway. But they need blockers back. Otherwise, I mean, Faust has lethal damage on board if it all connects. But Gleason is going to attack, create the treasure token.
Sounds like Invoke to me.
It's possible. Because that treasure is a 4th black mana source.
Oh, another Sheoldred.
Okay, that's pretty good. As luck would have it, that's a fine answer to that. Blood Tide's going to knock out the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. That is also a fine choice. It just is. Their own Fables coming down. And now Faust is in an interesting spot. Sheoldred.
Now, why didn't they have the treasures for negate? They have Invoke. Gleason has Invoke in hand. Because why don't you negate the Fable here?
That's a good question.
Gleason has Invoke in hand.
Let's see. Invoke in hand with a Sheoldred on the battlefield while you're already up 1 game in the finals of a turn. There it is. Sure enough. Yep, you called it.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
Crew
now they crew the Bankbuster this time. Gives them a body they can sacrifice that they're not super worried about. And they sacrifice the Graveyard Trespasser. Oh my goodness.
Saying you can't attack me because I'll double block.
Yep. Yeah, here comes the.
Well, they want the treasure for the negate.
Yep. Makes sense. Yeah, and Faust has put the stop on the upkeep. They are gonna presumably draw a card off the Bankbuster here. If they draw removal on the upkeep, they're gonna rip it. Ooh, cycling lands. You don't want to be seeing that right now. Normally, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Being able to just churn through your deck is good. However, you know, when you're going up against Sheoldred.
Oh no, I wouldn't. Oh no, yeah, it doesn't have haste. I was like, oh no, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, there's not much you can do here.
Yeah, and I think Gleason has another Invoke.
I mean, they have a ton of cards, so whatever they have.
Ton of cards.
Yeah. Now, at this point, they only have 3 black mana sources, including the treasure.
You know what would be sweet? You know what would be sweet? Forcing them to draw. Love to see like a, what's it, Night Whisper? Target player draws 2 cards. Or the does it Fellstinger?
Fellstinger is awesome. Yeah, you exploit a creature, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's savage with Sheoldred. Oh yeah. Absolutely savage. It's fun. I've done it a couple times. It's a nice way to deliver a kill shot. Yeah. The other one that I'm a big fan of is the other cards that actually pair really nicely with Sheoldred are Concealing Curtains and Urtai.
Yeah. Okay.
Ob is not nothing, but
not nothing.
It's got to be removal. There's nothing they can do.
And Gleason, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh my goodness!
Repeats.
Wow. Gleason, beautifully done with the Grixis mid-range deck.
Now, those were definitely some grindy games. Congratulations to Gleason for taking it down 2 weeks in a row. I want to give a big shout out as well to HamHocks and Hearsay for doing some phenomenal commentary. And I want to thank you, the viewer, for making it this far into the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell notification, leave a comment down below. You can find information to all the tournaments that we host monthly, all the content, and deck lists in the description. And I hope that you stay cheesy.